Hello and welcome back to the channel. First of all, I would like to thank the viewers. There was a couple of viewers that shared this story with me concerning what's going on with livestock, okay, bird flocks. Right now they are saying that a highly lethal bird flu has been found in Kentucky and Virginia flocks, and is raising fears that it could possibly spread around. Now, remember in an earlier video where I was saying that sometimes we look at what's happening in another region and we say, well, you know what, that ain't got nothing to do with me because it's thousands of miles away. Now, when we're talking about natural disasters of any kind, we have to understand that you can certainly be affected by something that happens thousands of miles away or even hundreds of miles, right? As in the case of a food supply, if you have birds that are affected in one region, don't think for 1 minute that birds in one region aren't sold in other areas too. This is why they have such a massive shipping, operation in and around the world. So it doesn't have to be in your backyard for it to affect you. Anyway, listen at the report on what is happening with this highly lethal bird flu, and I will be right back.
Poultry operations in Kentucky and Virginia were confirmed to have birds infected with a highly lethal form of avian flu, federal agriculture officials said Monday, days after a flock of turkeys in Indiana tested positive, raising worries about a wider outbreak in the country. The most recently identified infections occurred at a Tyson Foods commercial broiler in Fulton County, Kentucky, that has 240,000 chickens, and in a backyard flock of mixed species in Fauquier County, Virginia. Kentucky officials said they were also waiting for the results of tests on a flock of turkeys in Webster County. The infections come after 29,000 turkeys were destroyed in Indiana once officials detected the presence of highly pathogenic avian influenza, or HPAI, last week in Dubois County. Federal officials said the Indiana outbreak was the first confirmed case in commercial poultry in the United States since 2020. The developments raise concerns that avian influenza could affect more poultry operations in the United States, which is the world's top producer of poultry and the No. 2 exporter in volume, according to the U.S. Agriculture Department. They also come as the United States is seeing higher than usual inflation rates in necessities such as food. Bird flu outbreak in Israel kills more than 5,200 cranes, with mass culling of poultry underway. Avian influenza is carried by wild bird populations that spread the virus to domestic birds. Outbreaks involving more virulent strains result in higher mortality rates in domestic birds, potentially causing disruptions to the food supply. The outbreak in Fulton County was found after the operation reported an increase in poultry deaths to Kentucky officials. Avian influenza doesn't pose a public health risk to humans, U.S. agriculture officials said, so long as poultry and eggs are properly cooked at internal temperatures above 165 degrees. No human cases of avian influenza have been detected in the United States, although more than 700 global cases have been reported since 2003, federal officials say. Officials have quarantined the operations in Kentucky and Virginia, the Agriculture Department said, and birds at the locations will not enter the food system. Tyson Foods is heightening biosecurity measures at other farms in the region, Gary Mickelson, a company spokesman, said in an emailed statement. The company tests all flocks for avian influenza before the birds leave the farms, he said. The recent outbreak will not affect Tyson's overall chicken production, because thousands of farms raise the birds for the firm, he added. In a deadly outbreak that occurred between December 2014 and June 2015, more than 50 million chickens and turkeys either died of HPAI or were killed to stop the disease's spread, according to the Agriculture Department. The federal government spent almost $880 million at the time to pay for the destruction of infected poultry, cleaning and indemnities for lost birds. The outbreak also led to a $1.1 billion decrease in exports of broiler chickens in 2015, compared with the prior year. Egg export income declined by $41 million, while income for turkey export fell by $177 million during the same period.
Okay, so you've heard the report, and what I want to say about that is, if it ain't one thing, it's another. If it ain't one thing, it's another. It seems like things are stacking up on top of each other when it comes to these types of situations that are affecting people's lives in a major way. So we're looking at a highly lethal bird flu that is affecting flocks, and they're saying that wild birds are the cause of this. And so with this, there's a lot of interruption that's going to take place in the food supply. Even though Tyson says that they should be good still, there's going to be an interruption somewhere, right? There will be an interruption somewhere. And so with these things happening, you have to know there's going to be an increase as times wear on. It seems like we're seeing natural disasters, in which I would consider this to be a natural disaster as well, especially since they are saying that wild birds messing with domestic birds is causing this. So that is definitely something that is a natural occurrence, right? These wild birds are doing whatever, mingling with the flocks, and farms are being hit. And they are fearing that this is going to be a wider spread than just the Kentucky and Virginia flocks. And so that being said, we've got to prepare ourselves for more natural disasters to come. Regards to whether or not you're a person who eats birds, or eats chicken, or I don't know what all flocks, if it was just chickens or turkeys. In this image here, they're showing ducks. In some form or another, people are going to be affected, because once these things happen, it seems like there's a snowball effect where this happens and that happens. Next thing you know, they have recall on lettuce. All kinds of things are happening more and more with more frequency these days. And so with that, it's quite frightening to know what is next. This is why we have been saying for many years that it is time to prepare. It is time to prepare. Some people ain't trying to hear that. They want to continue with their lives, business as usual. Some people think something is going to go back to whatever normal they think they're going to return to. But if you're really paying attention, you know that there is nothing like that happening, that things are only going to go from bad to worse. So it's time to fortify your life as best as you can. That being said, I'm done with this video. In the comment section below, remember to keep it tight and keep it right. But until next time. We hope you liked today's topic. Please leave your comments below. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, share it, like this video, and with that, we're out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.